Hey everyone. Today we're diving into the Heart Sutra. So, what's the Heart Sutra really about? Well, it's all about the heart, our mind, our inner world. It's not just a Buddhist scripture, it's a guide to understanding your own mind, seeing life with wisdom, and living with true freedom. But here's the thing: if we just listen with our ears, but don't truly feel it with our hearts, we won't really get it. The Heart Sutra isn't something to be studied like a textbook. It's something to be realized. No matter who you are, if you have a heart and a genuine desire to awaken, you can find insight in it. Whether you're a monk or just living an everyday life, the path to wisdom is always there for you. In family life, we can choose to be patient and understanding. That's spiritual practice. At work, we can be responsible and mindful. That's spiritual practice too. When life throws ups and downs at us, we learn to accept and let go. That's also spiritual practice. Buddhism isn't about escaping life. It's about training your mind through life. Practicing doesn't mean forcing yourself to understand everything. It's about going with the flow, accepting things as they are, and not resisting. Whether you fully get it or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is whether you have a heart that's willing to experience, feel, and apply these teachings in real life. True wisdom isn't about searching for something. It's about letting go of attachments. When you stop clinging and just go with the flow, your heart naturally becomes clear and bright. All right, let's get started. The full name of the Heart Sutra is Prajna Paramita Heart Sutra, and just from the title alone, we can already see the core message of this entire scripture. Simply put, this sutra teaches us how to understand our own mind, how to use wisdom to overcome suffering, and how to return to a state of peace and freedom. The word prajna is often translated as great wisdom or profound wisdom, but it's not the same as the kind of wisdom we usually talk about in everyday life. Worldly wisdom is often limited. It's shaped by personal desires, emotions, and biases. For example, the knowledge and skills we learn can help us solve practical problems, but they don't necessarily bring inner peace. Worldly wisdom might make us smarter, but it doesn't free us from suffering or lead to true liberation. Prajna wisdom, on the other hand, is different. It is boundless, pure, and complete. It's not influenced by emotions, desires, gains, or losses. Instead, it allows us to truly see the nature of life and rise above all suffering. In simple terms, worldly wisdom helps us solve external problems, but prajna wisdom helps us solve internal struggles. Once we have prajna wisdom, we're no longer trapped by the ups and downs of life. We can live with true freedom. All Buddhist scriptures, at their core, are teachings about the mind. That's because Buddhism isn't about explaining the outside world. It's about guiding us back to our own hearts, helping us find true wisdom. The word paramita means reaching the other shore. But what does that really mean? The this shore is the state we live in every day, being controlled by emotions, swayed by the world around us, caught up in gain and loss, success and failure, love and hate. The other shore is beyond all that. It's a state where we're no longer trapped by emotions, no longer weighed down by attachment, and instead, we feel peaceful and free inside. But the other shore, isn't a physical place. It's a state of mind. When your heart is lost in attachment, stress, and desire, you're stuck on this shore. But when you wake up, let go of attachments, and see life clearly, you've already reached the other shore. Let's put it simply. If someone insults you and you immediately get angry, fight back, and keep holding on to that resentment, that's a normal human reaction. That's this shore. But if someone insults you and you understand that it's just their emotions, so you don't let it disturb your peace of mind, that's wisdom. That's the other shore. Confusion keeps us stuck on this shore. Attachment, stress, and ignorance trap us in suffering. Awakening takes us to the other shore. Wisdom, awareness, and letting go set us free. So, the other shore isn't somewhere far away. It's right here, in your mind, in this very moment. As long as you're willing to change how you see the world, you can rise above suffering and step into freedom. It's not just for highly enlightened people. It's for anyone who chooses to move from confusion to clarity. In the Heart Sutra, the word duo is usually translated as transcend or reach the other shore. But on a deeper level, it also represents inner stability, samadhi. Many people think that stability means sitting in meditation, staying still, or keeping the body motionless. But true stability isn't about physical posture. It's about inner calm. When your mind is steady, you won't be easily shaken by drama, stress, sadness, or fear. That's what real stability is. When someone misunderstands you, and you don't rush to defend yourself but stay composed, that's stability. When you face setbacks, and instead of feeling sorry for yourself, you stay present and look for solutions, that's stability. When life gets tough, and you don't panic or complain, but remain clear-headed, knowing that everything will pass, that's stability. True stability is wisdom in action. It's the ability to stay grounded, to not be controlled by emotions, and to move through life with clarity and strength. The heart in the Heart Sutra isn't the same as the thoughts, emotions, or consciousness we usually think of. Instead, it refers to our true heart, our innate wisdom, something we all naturally possess. It's the foundation of all things, also known as our Buddha nature. So, why haven't we realized this true heart? Because it's covered by the false mind. The false mind is all the mental noise, our attachments, judgments, overthinking, all the thoughts that arise in reaction to the external world. But these aren't our true selves. Simply put, the false mind is like dark clouds, blocking the light of the true heart. And once we see through this illusion, our true heart naturally shines through. That's why Buddhist practice isn't about finding the true heart, but rather about removing the obstacles that cover it. When those obstacles are gone, the true heart reveals itself. When you're not controlled by emotions, your heart is clear. When you stop clinging to the past or worrying about the future, your heart is at peace. When you can observe your thoughts without being swept away by them, your true heart is right there. The Heart Sutra isn't just a Buddhist scripture. It's a path to liberation, a guide that leads us out of suffering. The word sutra refers to the Buddha's teachings, which capture the essence of wisdom and show us the way. So, what exactly is the Heart Sutra? It's the core of prajna wisdom. If you take the time to truly understand it, you'll see that no matter how many methods or practices exist, all true Buddhist teachings ultimately point back to your own heart. When you see your heart clearly, you won't be controlled by emotions. When you become aware of your heart, you won't be trapped by worries. When you understand your heart, you won't feel lost in life. That's why the Heart Sutra teaches us real practice doesn't happen in temples or deep in the mountains. It happens in every single thought. If you're mindful, you can practice anywhere, at any moment, and return to a state of inner peace and clarity. Reading the Heart Sutra is like gaining the most profound wisdom in the shortest time. It's not about complicated theories. It's about practical guidance on how to face challenges, transcend struggles, and find true inner stability. All right, so far, we've thoroughly explained the title of the Heart Sutra. Now, let's dive into the actual text and break it down in plain language so you can understand its wisdom in a way that feels natural and relatable. We'll go through the sutra step by step, making it clear and practical, so that instead of just hearing words, you can actually feel and apply its meaning in your daily life. Let's get started. What did Avalokiteshvara, Guanyin Bodhisattva, realize during deep meditation? Something truly eye-opening. Everything we think is real is actually empty. Now, what does emptiness, shunyata, mean? Does it mean nothing exists? Not at all. In Buddhism, emptiness doesn't mean that things aren't real. It means that everything in this world, including our bodies, feelings, thoughts, actions, and consciousness, is impermanent and constantly changing. Nothing stays the same forever. Think about it. Your body has changed from childhood to adulthood, and one day it will grow old. Your emotions shift. One moment you're happy, the next you might feel annoyed. Your thoughts keep changing. Something that seemed important today might not matter at all in a few days. Since nothing is permanent, clinging too tightly to things will only bring suffering. This is what Avalokiteshvara realized, and because of this wisdom, he was able to transcend suffering and achieve true liberation. But what about us, ordinary people? How can we free ourselves from anxiety, worry, and suffering? The truth is, deep within each of us, there is a pure, unshaken wisdom, our true heart. But why then do we still get caught up in stress, frustration, and pain? It's because we're too attached to external things. We constantly worry about money, status, relationships. We let our emotions control us, feeling anxious when we might lose something, and restless when we don't have what we want. But here's the truth. Nothing in this world stays the same. Money gets spent. Fame and success rise and fall. Relationships change. Even our own thoughts and emotions are in a state of constant flux. So, does that mean life is meaningless and nothing matters? Not at all. Emptiness doesn't mean nothing exists. It means everything is fluid. Everything is possible. It represents change and the fact that life is full of endless possibilities. True wisdom is about understanding this impermanence. Instead of clinging desperately to things that are bound to change, learn to go with the flow. When you stop demanding that things must stay the same, when you let go of regrets over the past or anxiety about the future, your heart can finally relax. Our daily lives revolve around feelings, thoughts, actions, and consciousness. These things are like links in a chain, constantly influencing our emotions and decisions. For example, someone says something to you. You feel happy or upset. That's your feeling. That feeling triggers thoughts. You start overanalyzing, guessing, or making assumptions. Those thoughts shape your actions. Maybe you snap back, withdraw, or dwell on it. Over time, these repeated reactions form your mental habits, reinforcing the way you respond to similar situations. And just like that, our emotions and struggles keep cycling like gears in a machine, running nonstop. But here's the key. If you can see through this cycle, you won't be trapped by it anymore. Let's say someone says something unpleasant to you. Instead of instantly reacting, you pause and notice, oh, this is just an emotional reaction. It doesn't mean it's the truth. With that awareness, you won't rush to fight back, and you won't let that one sentence replay in your mind, making you miserable. Similarly, when your mind starts overthinking, remind yourself, these are just my thoughts. They're not reality. The moment you recognize the cycle, it loses its power over you, and your heart naturally feels lighter and freer. Sometimes we get stuck in the past, dwelling on regrets, thinking, if only I had done this differently. Other times, we worry about the future, fearing failure or loss. But in doing so, we completely overlook the present moment. We ignore what we're truly feeling right now. The Heart Sutra teaches us that past, present, and future are all creations of the mind. The past is gone. Holding on to it only keeps you trapped in pain. The future hasn't happened yet. Worrying about it only creates unnecessary suffering. The present is all you truly have. When you let go of the past and stop stressing over the future, life naturally becomes more peaceful. What's the goal of spiritual practice? Freedom from suffering. But if you're clinging to thoughts like, I need to be free, or I must awaken, you're still caught in attachment. True wisdom isn't about gaining something. It's about letting go. Letting go of labels, letting go of control, letting go of the idea that things must be a certain way. When you do that, your heart becomes lighter, calmer, and no longer controlled by worries. Because at the end of the day, all suffering comes from the mind. If the mind doesn't stir, negative thoughts don't arise. If negative thoughts don't arise, suffering naturally disappears. Deep down, everyone has a pure, natural wisdom. This wisdom isn't something you learn from books. It's a state of clarity and ease, free from attachment and suffering. It's always there, whether you're an ordinary person or a sage. So why don't we feel it? Why do some people live with clarity and peace, while others are constantly stuck in frustration? The reason is simple. The mind is blocked. Imagine the sky. It's naturally bright and clear. But when clouds roll in, you can't see the sun. Our wisdom is just like that. It's always present. But when it gets covered by desires, attachments, and emotions, we lose sight of it. Whether you live as a wise person or stay stuck in suffering isn't determined by fate. It's your choice. If you're willing to let go and see things clearly, wisdom is already within you. But if you keep getting pulled around by external things, then suffering will follow. How do we experience the world? Every day, we see, hear, and touch things to understand the world. But if we get too attached to these sensations, we become controlled by them. You see delicious food. You feel like you must have it. You hear criticism. You instantly get angry. These reactions mean you're being led by your senses instead of seeing things as they really are. So what is spiritual practice really about? It's removing the clouds, letting go of attachments, reducing desires, and adjusting your mindset. Maybe that means being a little less greedy instead of constantly thinking, I need more. Maybe it means letting go of obsession instead of always insisting, this must be mine. True wisdom isn't about avoiding things. It's about not letting them control you. When you learn to let go of attachments and accept life's impermanence, wisdom naturally shines through, and your heart returns to its natural state of peace and freedom. The last part of the Heart Sutra says, therefore, the Prajnaparamita mantra is spoken. It is spoken as follows: gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhi svaha. This is the final conclusion of the Heart Sutra, expressed in a mantra, a sacred, mysterious formula that summarizes the entire essence of the sutra. So, what does this mantra mean? No one has truly translated or fully explained it because mantras aren't meant to be analyzed. Their power isn't in their literal meaning, but in the act of reciting them. Think of this mantra as a key that helps unlock wisdom, transcend suffering, and reach the other shore of liberation. However, many Buddhist masters interpret the words like this: gate, gate, go, go, paragate, go beyond, parasamgate, completely go beyond, bodhisvaha, to enlightenment, so be it. In other words, go, go, go beyond, go completely beyond, toward awakening. This mantra is like a call to action, a reminder that when you truly let go, when your mind is free from attachment, when you live with ease and clarity, you have already reached the other shore. So, when we recite this mantra, don't overthink its meaning. Just chant it with a pure heart, with faith, and with a sincere wish for awakening. By doing so, you naturally receive its blessings and take step after step toward liberation and true peace. All right. With this, we have fully explored the Heart Sutra and its profound wisdom. Out of compassion, the Buddha taught two ways to help different cloud people understand and awaken: explicit teaching, clear explanation, using words and reasoning to explain the wisdom of prajna, helping us understand the truth that the five aggregates are empty. Secret teaching, mantra. Through the Prajnaparamita mantra, we receive direct blessings. Even if we don't fully grasp the meaning, simply chanting it allows us to connect with wisdom and move toward liberation. Spiritual practice is not about complex theories. It's about genuine experience. Whether you choose to deeply contemplate the wisdom of the Heart Sutra or simply recite the Prajnaparamita mantra, both paths will bring you the blessings of the Dharma. They will gradually help you overcome suffering and step into a life of clarity and freedom. Namo Prajnaparamita. Thank you for watching.